I am JEFFERSCRAFT, and this is how I survived 100 days in modded Minecraft. So come along. This was an epic adventure of beauty and amazement. Everywhere I went, it was gorgeous, but there was hostile creatures too. I mean, I had to deal with things like crocodiles. And then every time I would come to a savanna, there was just this beautiful picture of sunset and zebras. I mean, the place was beautiful, but these jungles, man, I can't believe the things that would get me. These man-eating plants, and then in the nether, I mean, there was mosquitoes that would suck my blood. And then these guys, wait until you see what happens with these guys. So, like I said, this was such a beautiful playthrough. This was such a beautiful world, and I can't believe I survived 100 days here. So you guys gotta come along on this epic adventure with me as I survive 100 days in this terraforged world. Oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. Shoot. Oh my gosh, they're after me. They're after me. Let's build up. Oh crap. Oh my gosh. Look at them. They're all after me. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Look at this. Look at this. They're coming after me. Yeah. That's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Well, let me just start at the beginning. All right, I spawned in Savannah biome day one here. Had to cut down a tree, of course. Had to craft a crafting table, some wooden tools. You know, you gotta start somewhere. It was right in the beginning here, and I was just happy that I made it in a savanna biome. And then of course I was hungry, so gotta kill some pigs, right? Gotta get some food. So there we go. And then I decided to dig myself out a little hole here just to get ready for the night. I didn't really want to build here. I didn't really want to stay here. I wanted to go adventuring. So, and then of course I had to go get some stone somewhere. It took me a while to find some stone, but we did it. We found some stone, got it. And I made it to the Stone Age. I advanced to the Stone Age, made some stone tools. You know, had to at least make a stone pickaxe and a stone sword for now. And then eventually I will get some more trees and all that good stuff. But I made a door so I could just, you know, start closing in this place and, you know, have a little place to stay for the night, because night was coming sooner, you know, than I believe, man. Time flies in this the whole way through. It flies here. So I mean, so it's good, man. We close it in, and now we had our little place. Heck yeah. So now I just went out, found some copper. There's actually copper in this. So spot any sheep anywhere? Just a bunch of gazelle. I had to kill some chickens too, man. All right, it's getting to be night. So yeah, I came back home for the nighttime, and what I really did was just dig through the night, man. I dug deep through the night. I kept running into, you know, these cave systems, because this has Young's Better Caves mod on it, and the caves are so huge. You'll see. I mean, just crazy huge, like scary huge. But we made it. We dug through the night. We made it through night one, and we're gonna get ready for the next day here. We made it to day number 2, and I just decided to start traveling. I mean, this is, like I said, very beautiful land. Everywhere I traveled, I just loved the scenery. But, you know, I couldn't seem to find a sheep, and that was the biggest thing for this whole day. I was really just looking for a sheep. I was actually going to go back to my little hovel in the side of the cliff. But I never made it because I never found a sheep. Well, there's a waystone. Nice, I'm going to get that. But then I came across my first waystone, which totally changed the game for me, honestly, because once I got a second waystone anyway, I was able to just move wherever I want, like basically teleport. But that was my first waystone, man. I was so excited about that. And then I just kind of went through this village. This is the first village I found in the savannah. I just kind of looted these guys and totally didn't realize that in that other hut I left a chest behind because I didn't even know what the chest looked like. Probably it looked different. But yeah, and so these are the guard villagers, and they were pretty cool around here. Don't mess with them. And then I had to get some food, of course. And then I just traveled some more, man. Traveled on and on. I think I came across a bit of a desert that I never went into at this time. No beds, no sheep. And yeah, I just couldn't find any sheep. Never did this day. The sunset was beautiful, though. I mean, look at that. Look at that sunset. So anyway, I got to where night was falling, and I dug myself a little hole in the ground, basically just in the ground. Shut myself in there and just waited for the night because I had no bed, and then got ready for the next day. All right, here we are on day number 3, and we got out of our hole here. Okay, wait, so we made it to the ocean. What the heck? That scared me. Still looking for sheep. So we were still, of course, looking for a bed or sheep to make a bed. It took me a while. It felt like, anyway, like 3 days. And then I had to get some food. There we go. There we go. So we ate, and then we came across this village here. Another savannah village. I found a lot of villages in this playthrough, actually. It was a crazy amount, at least as far as I've ever seen before. Oh, here's a bed, yes. Ah. And then guess what? We found a bed finally after all that time. I didn't even need sheep. So then I just continued to loot this village. I wanted these bookcases. I didn't have silk touch, so I just settled for the books, and I could, you know, make some bookcases later for enchanting, which, to be honest with you, I never did make an enchanting table or an enchanting room in this whole playthrough. But, you know, you guys will see as we go. So I got some melons. I love to eat melons for some reason. And then it got night so fast that I just decided to go in, steal this guy's bed, and get ready for the next day. All right, I woke up on day 4 and just decided to just leave this village. I didn't want to linger around too long, and I wanted to see what else was out in this world. So I took off down the road, down this savannah road, I guess you could call it. And I came across, well, first of all, a cool village, but then also I came across a jungle. And I was stoked because I thought jungles were kind of rare, but yeah, you know, they're usually by savannas. And so I go into the jungle, and what did I see but a gorilla? Oh, let's check him out. Okay, is he hostile? Look at that, bro. What's up, bro? He's just chilling. I mean, we're way cool, man, but you know, I didn't want to hit one because I knew that these things, I think they can one punch you or one shot you. But anyway, so I saw this structure, and I think it was a repurposed structure. It looked like a fortress in the nether, but it was in the jungle, and it was amazing looking. And it was starting to become night. I mean, night was falling on me really fast here. So, I mean, look at this thing, man. Sweet. So I just put my bed down, took a sleep in the jungle, and on to the next day. All right, day 5, I woke up in the jungle, and I was determined to make my way out of here and go find a place to build my house, my home. I needed a home at this point. So I just made my way through the jungle. And I should have gone in this fortress, honestly, now that I think about it. I mean, but I was just determined, like I said, to find my house, find my home, my place to live, you know? So eventually I decided that I was gonna stop and craft myself a furnace and then smelt my iron that I had so that I could get myself a full set of iron armor. Because at this point I had no armor. I think I had boots, maybe. Yeah, there I am. Got some boots on. So yeah, eventually I smelted it all. I got myself my full set of iron armor, and there I am, man, sporting that iron armor. And then I decided I think it's time to clear out of here, get my stuff out of here, and keep on moving, keep going on this adventure through this, you know, beautiful terraforged world. This huge, every biome was huge and just laid out like more like a real life, you know, area, real life place. But anyway, so we finally made our way to another biome, a dark oak forest here, enchanted, and lots of bad guys here. But I decided, I think this is the best time to put my bed down and get prepared for another day. All right, so day 6, I woke up in the forest, a dark oak forest, and I wanted to make a backpack. Oh, another thing I need to figure out, I think, is there's a backpack mod called Traveler's Backpack. I can probably make a backpack pretty soon. And wait until you see the backpack. I did end up making one eventually. It took me a while, but they are really cool, really helped me. It's a beautiful forest though. It's like a dark wood forest, and look at these trees, are amazing. The scenery throughout this whole playthrough, like I keep saying, is amazing. That's my favorite part of this. I just adventured the whole time. What are those? I wonder if they're hostile. They're little beans or something. What the heck? Oh. Uh-oh. Skeletons and zombies. Let's get out of here. So I got some food, and I made my way into another biome, which was a birch forest. And this forest went on for quite a while. I mean, I ran through here. I went up a ridge, and I made my way down the ridge. Like I said, it was huge. All of the biomes in this are huge. And then eventually, though, I made my way through, and I spotted another biome, which it was still the forest, but I was getting somewhere. It's like an oak, a regular oak. And then so I decided to lay my bed down and go to sleep for the night. All right, here we are. We made it to day 7, guys. And yeah, I just started trying to make my way out of the forest, but I found this little town up here. Got a little advancement, a town in the forest. That's cool, man. Love the advancements. But yeah, I just went through this village, basically looting, and I was talking about you know, the backpack really the whole time, because I was trying to figure out how to make the backpack, and I'm pretty sure I looked it up in the you know, in the search, figured out how to make a backpack, and then I kind of went on from there trying to find the parts of the backpack. But I had a really hard time trying to find a gold ingot, because I needed a gold ingot. But you know, we'll come across that later. But I did need a red flower for sure for the dye, so I grabbed a red flower. And then up here, I actually saw a bear, I think for the first time. But look at that bear. Hey, dude. Oh, it just kind of walked up the cliff. Okay. I always try to avoid coming in contact with those things because I know they're hostile if you hit them. So, but he was cool, man. Then I went caving for a little while, just shallow caving. I really didn't find much, but I did find some iron, some coal. That was pretty cool. The water flowing there. There's some really cool generations of the caves and things like that in this, because of the Young's Better caves and mine shafts. But I do go through some mine shafts, so you guys will see that, and some caves. So that was just some shallow caving. We come out of the cave and just advanced to the next biome. We went through this oak biome for a sec, But then we made it to a taiga forest, and it was starting to get night already, which was crazy how fast it went. But I found a little cave, I think, up here, and I laid my bed down and got ready for day number 8. All right, so I woke up on day 8 in the cave, and I decided to go do a little bit of caving. Picked up a bunch of material, like a lot of iron for sure, and some coal, and just kept going down and down in this place and seeing what I could find here. I really didn't find more than that though. All right, let's do it. I went down this, like I said, down this hole. I don't know what level I made it to, but didn't find any resources. Still going down. Then eventually, as I was coming down, I kind of got scared here. It was funny. Oh! Oh, that scared me, guys. But that was the only mob I ran into down here, if you can believe that. So I made my way back up. All right, so back on our merry way. And I just started going further and further until I came to a beautiful site right here. We gotta bust our way through there. Ooh, look at this. This is beautiful. And so I crossed the river, and it started to get really late on me. It's a good thing for this bed that I had this whole time. I was just carrying this bed, and I was able to go so far. So I laid the bed down, made a little spot, and slept for the night, ready for the next day, day number 9. Okay, day number 9, and it's time to keep moving. What's up, reindeer? I came across some cool reindeer, got myself some food, and I found this forest fire here. I don't know, I just kept it burning. I really didn't need to burn it out or take it out, put it out, whatever you want to call it. So I just kept rolling along, and got some more food and made it to another biome, dude. And there I found another biome, so I went to this village. I decided to loot it, and look at that beautiful water. But I decided to do some looting, get what I could out of this place. And kept moving along here. So this river here was frozen over, but it looked so beautiful. I had to stop and take a closer look. Look at this, the reflection on that, just the beauty, man. Looked like a snowy winter wonderland. And that fly was huge. So, made it to the ocean, and the sunset was gorgeous. So I crossed the river right here where it flowed into the ocean, and just enjoyed the beauty. And I was ready to lay my bed down and go for another day. All right, here we go. Day number 10. I wake up in this beautiful place, and I gotta get going once again. Oh, there's another waystone. Okay, that's perfect. And so, like, first thing I do is come across another waystone. So, of course, that is what I needed to fast travel, between places. That's all that I needed. It was perfect. And so I made my way up this ridge, a beautiful mountain top. I mean, look at the scenery up here. Love this stuff, man. And then I saw an ice biome down here, so I decided to head that direction. I thought it was the perfect place to go and see what we could find next. And so we made our way down. I found this cool looking lava flow down this mountainside. The only thing it's missing is some kind of like steam rolling off it. But then I wanted to go over to this ice here, so I jumped in and freezing cold water and made my way across the ice. And what did I see? But an awesome polar bear. Look at this dude. Hey, bro. chilling. He was chilling for sure. So I dove back in the water. I didn't really want to check out the ice too long. There wasn't much to see there. And I came across, and what did I find? But another waystone sitting here waiting for me. So now I have 3. I mean, the more you have, the better it is to travel. You can put them all over the place. And this has got to be some kind of an igloo. And then I came up to this igloo, and I decided to check it out. It was getting late on me, so I went down in this thing and found a zombie villager. And I didn't save the guy, but I looted the chest. I went back up, and I went to sleep for the night and got ready for day number 11. All right, so day 11, I wake up, and I just went for it right away. I didn't do much this day, really. I just made a boat, put it into the ocean, and then I went off into the sunset. And I traveled for, like all the way into the night until I found some driftwood, and I figured, well, I'm gonna just set my bed here and sleep for the night. On to day 12. Killed him. He's alright. He's dying anyway. Was he right behind me the whole time? Oh my gosh. He was just chilling with me in my boat. And so when I wake up in the morning on day 12, I see that I was I had a little passenger, a drowned, like hitched a ride with me the whole way. So I dropped my boat in the water. I travel for pretty much this whole day. I traveled. I mean, this ocean was just like everything else in this world, man. Huge. And you know, like ocean should be, I guess. You know, it just went on and on and on. And I was starting to think, man, am I ever gonna find land, or am I gonna be traveling for days and days and days? I mean, but really, I didn't travel for days and days, but I did travel for this whole day, pretty much this whole day. But eventually I came across something. Oh, I see land. I see land. Okay, I think we're coming to something now. Finally. Phew. Starting to worry there. So I found my home. This is where I decided to make my home. It was a beautiful spot. There was some really good resources, a lot of sand, some nice trees, big trees that I could use. There's a little mine next to me, as you'll see later. So I parked my boat in my bay. This is Jeffers Bay. And I hopped out, and as night fell on my new home, I set my bed down and slept, ready for day 13. Okay, so I woke up on day 13, and I think it's time to build, man. It's time to build this house. So there was a little shallow mine right next to me, and I went into the mine and I started gathering up resources that I would need for, you know, for things like a furnace and the foundation. I was gonna build the starting of my house out of cobblestone. So now I start building it, putting it together. It's just was just a box, man, that I actually never finished. And you'll see that as I go along, but I never finished the roof on this thing because I was just, you know, traveling around so much that I was never home. But, you know, it was starting to get dark here quick, so I just kind of basically finished this bottom part of the house. And it was time to go to sleep already. And on to day number 14. And then day 14, I got up, and it was pretty much of the same thing. I was trying to figure out exactly where I wanted to put this my door. So eventually, after a while trying to figure out where's the best spot, you know, it takes me forever to build stuff. So anyway, I popped out a spot for the door. I went and gathered some wood because I was gonna start putting up the walls with the wood. Love the way the trees fall in this thing. So I gathered quite a bit of wood, had a lot of trees around me, and I started building up the sides of this house. And I did that pretty much through the day, you know. I just found my corners. I mean, it was a good little spot on this bay, but So I made a little bit of frame and I started putting in the ceiling. I wanted to use different colors, so I think I had some jungle planks I wanted to put in there, and it was just a good contrast for now. I mean, eventually I could change this thing, but like I said, I never finished it, so maybe later. So it got to be dark. I put on the door and I slept in the bed, ready for day 15. All right, now I get up on day 15, and just like previous couple days, I just start gathering resources. I got sand, a lot of sand for glass. There's my little box, see it? So I go in, I smelt a bunch of glass, and I start putting on the windows here. And it took me quite a while to get everything together, but you know, it came along. It came along pretty well. Just kept having to gather resources, really. There's my box from far away. So I put on the finishing touches on the ceiling here, but I ran out of some glass, so I had to continue to smelt, and then I started putting the floor down. And I worked on the floor for a little bit, but it started to get dark pretty fast on me, so I went to bed. After I put some floor down, I went to bed and got ready for day 16. All right, day 16, and it's time to work some more on the floor here, finish up this floor. So I start busting it out, of course, and before you know it, I had a floor, man. I can't believe it. It looked nice. It's starting to become a house here pretty soon. You know, needs a floor. There you go. And so then I also decided that I was going to build a storage room under my house. So I got down to business. I dug down quite a ways. I dug out this big hole here, and realized it was late, so I went back up, and I needed to sleep for the night and continue on building more tomorrow. So I checked out. The outside was really nice looking, and I went to sleep, got ready for day 17. All right, I wake up on day 17, and what a beautiful view this was outside. And then I went down and started digging some more for my storage area. Dug for a while, it took me. Then I got down to my last blocks, and here it was in all its glory, a big storage room. Then I went back up and decided to put my waystone in my house so I could travel back and forth to my house. I called it home, of course. I mean, why not? And I activated it. And then after that, I decided to go down under my storage room and go mining. And eventually I found a open cave system here. And of course I had to go check it out, right? I wasn't even prepared, really. At least I had a sword and a little bit of armor. So I dropped down in here, and of course, first thing, a creeper. So me being a scaredy cat, I ran away from this guy. And I mean, if you look around on the ground, there was a spawner right there, yeah. And if you look around on the ground, I find some cool stuff, man. There's an amethyst right there. That's what that purple was. But fought a zombie off, and I never killed that creeper. Don't know what happened to him, but I decided, like a dumbass, to go break this spawner instead of just putting torches on it and disabling it. I, of course, decided to break it. So I break in. Of course, what happens? A bunch of guys come out. I get poisoned by a spider, get poisoned by a witch, hit by a bunch of zombies, and eventually I killed the guys. And I did this all through the night, ready for the next day 18. All right, so day 18 it is, and I decided I need to go down. I really needed to find diamonds at this point, so I kept digging down, and I came across some redstone, so I grabbed my first bit of redstone, and I was able to make a clock later on and all that good stuff. But as I was going, I came down to diamond level, and I found this big cave here. Huge cave, man. There was a mine shaft I never looked at, but I did over here. I had to fight off a bunch of zombies. One of them fell down from above me here in a second, and with gold armor on. Wasn't expecting it. Scared me, but I was able to handle him. And what did I come across? But my first bit of diamond. Ooh, there's diamond right there. I found it. So I gathered up all my diamonds and got about 6 of them. Went to sleep, ready for day 19. So day 19, I wake up and I really just spent this whole day gathering resources for my storage room. So I grabbed a lot of wood, man, and falling these big trees really got me a lot quick, so that was good. But I went down and just laid out a ton of chests, man. And as I went along this playthrough, I realized I really didn't need this many chests. But you know, I guess if I play more than 100 days, it will be good for that. I'll be able to stock up. But I really didn't use all these chests, you know. But so I put them all out. The room looked pretty good, and I went upstairs, or up the ladder, and went to sleep, ready for the next day, day 20. So on day 20, I wanted to go caving, so I found a cave that was close to me. It's a little bit different cave than the one I was exploring in. I wanted to try a different one, and I saw this at one point. But I went in and I gathered a bunch of resources, things like a lot of coal I got, of course, and I got some iron, some tin, and but a lot of copper. I really love the copper in this game because if you make copper armor, it boosts your health up, I think, like 2 hearts, which is nice. So I got my resources, and eventually I came across a zombie spawner. So these zombies, you know, they weren't too big of a deal. I had my armor. I fought them off. You know, I went into this room. I didn't realize there was a spawner until you know, I went into the room and they were coming out of the spawner. But anyway, I backed up. I cut them down, and this time I disabled the spawner like I was supposed to on the other one. So you know, they would stop spawning out. I got into the chest, gathered the loot, and it wasn't great, but I did get some buckets and a saddle, which was cool. And these runes, I'm not sure what they're for, honestly. Never found that out. But so I got through that night. I pretty much mined all night and made my way back up to the surface and on to day 21. All right, so day 21 it is, and I was working my way still out of this cave. I worked on, you know, just getting some resources as I went along, and then I had to fight a couple mobs along the way, skeleton, zombies, things like that. But it wasn't too bad. I, you know, eventually got to the top, and you know, got to my house. And then I decided to start making a farm. It's about time to make myself some food, you know, a sustainable food source. So I went outside and I started digging the ground up and just working on you know, spots where I could put water. I was gonna have a nice farm here. I wasn't sure exactly what I was gonna put in it, but whatever it was gonna be good. So I got some water, you know, filled up the troughs, and it got pretty late on me as I was, you know, making this farm. And so I decided it's time to go to sleep. So I went in to my house, went to bed, and got ready for day number 22. And on day 22, I just continued to work on this farm here. And eventually I got to the point where I put some seeds in the ground. There, I was a real farmer, right? So there's my farm. I mean, it wasn't done yet, of course, but I just filled up everything I could with wheat, and then I added some pumpkins, I think that was, and then something else. I forget what that was, honestly, that other stuff. But so there was my farm, and then it was late, so I decided to go to sleep, get ready for day number 23. So day number 23, I worked on my sheep farm. I laid all the fencing out, and you know, made myself a gate. I also put a carpet on one of the edges so I can get in and out easy without having to open a gate, you know, and let the sheep loose. But once I got all the fencing up, it was time to go find some sheep. And there was luckily some sheep close by, so you know, I herded these sheep, I think 3 of them, I herded them back to my corral here. And with a little bit of reluctance, I did end up getting them inside and bred them, fed them and bred them. And there we go. I had a sheep farm going, and so for the rest of the day, I just kind of worked on some finishing touches on my food farm. I don't even know what to call it, wheat farm. But anyway, it was nighttime, time to go to sleep. On to day 24. All right, so day 24 to 28, I pretty much just got ready for an adventure that I took on day 29, but we will get to that. Yeah, I just fed some sheep, you know, got some crops ready, went caving, got some much needed resources. Things like copper, man, I really love the copper in this game, because if you make a full set of copper armor, which I did for a while, you get 2 extra hearts, which is really cool detail they put in. And then eventually come out of the cave, and I had to show this, but these spiders look pretty wicked, man. I had to fight some spiders the way they crawl up the wall. And then started working on the house some more. I started putting the roof up. I got myself up to the top. I made a trapdoor and a ladder up, and started just putting this roof together, which funny thing is I never actually finished the roof. I got almost finished, and then I just went adventuring so long and pretty much the whole rest of the game from this point that I never came back and stayed at my house for too long. But there's some roofing on there. And then I decided to go fishing. I fished pretty much the whole day on like day 26, I believe. I fished all the way into the night. It's so relaxing. I love fishing in this game. I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but I do love the fishing. And let me know, you guys, if you love the fishing too, man. It's amazing. But eventually I stopped the fishing, and I decided to go by to a nearby village. And there's my house right there. That's as far as I got on the roof. That was it. But I went by to the nearest village, which was right next to me, and I did what I always do, and I relieved them of their stuff, you know? I mean, they don't really need it, do they? They're just trying to run a village, no big deal. And I didn't do this, but something caught on fire, and that was fun. But anyway, I activated my waystone, got ready for day number 29, which I go on the adventure. All right, on day 29 and 30, I started my big adventure, or at least my first big adventure. Went back to the village and got my waystone back, and then I just went in a direction, and I eventually decided on the taiga forest. And I walked through the forest for the whole day, and then I slept there. And then on the next day, sometime midday or something like that, I came across this abandoned village. And as I was exploring this place, I eventually came, you know, it's hard to get into this place actually, but eventually I did come across a chest inside, a little chest, and it had some pretty good loot, at least compared to what I found so far. I found myself a diamond in here, and then some pretty cool tools, which I actually never used, but you know, cool nonetheless. And I got it all out of there, and I was happy about that. And then went around the rest of this place and just looted anything I thought was of value. And it started to get dark on day 30, and there was a bed in this village, so I slept, or I decided to sleep there for the night and get ready for the adventure to continue on day 31. All right, so days 31 through 40, and I just kept on traveling along here, and I went into this cave I wanted to show you. It was such a huge cave. It was, you know, this is Young's Better Caves on here, but man, I was just impressed with the size of this cave. It was just massive. And so I went in reluctantly, you know, scaredy cat I am, but I went in and found some new resources down here. I came across some amethyst was the first thing, and then also I found some silver. I didn't find a lot of silver in this game, but I did find some silver, in which silver is pretty tough. Good to have. But then I kept traveling along and came across quite a few villages in my travels, and I looted them, of course, like I always do. You know, take everything you can. Why not? They don't need it. I got a lot of lanterns from this place. I put them in my house. I like the lanterns, and it's easier to steal them than make them, of course. You know. But, yeah, then I would sleep when I needed to sleep because I had my sleeping bag with me, and I would just sleep when I needed it, or bedroll anyway. And then I would go home when I needed to go home with my waystones. I'd wake up, you know, to some nice sunrises. And then here was another village I came across that was on the side of a mountain. I thought it was pretty cool looking. And there was some nice views, like I was saying, just nice views, big old mountains I would come across. And I would woke up on the side of a mountain to a beautiful view here coming up. And then when I went home to dump off some of my stuff in the chest, I came across this guy. He was a troll, I guess they call him. A trader, wandering trader troll, something like that. And he stayed in my house the whole time. And then I came eventually to the ocean here, and it was a nice birch forest with a beautiful just birch village. And I came across some shields that I was scratching my head here. Ooh, are these shields? Like, why were they in the water? But I figured it out. Ooh, there's a crocodile. That's what that is. So I got a closer look at these guys, and man, they started chasing me, so I had to get out of there. And they almost killed me twice, actually, because they grab onto you quickly and they start rolling, you know. And I didn't figure out for a minute that you have to push shifts to get them off of you. So I almost died, and that would have been it, man. Wouldn't have made it to 100 days, but I did. And one more thing of note in this village, I found a chest in one of these huts that I needed for my traveler's backpack, because I couldn't really make a chest out of just any wood. I just need a regular chest. So there was one regular chest, and that's all I needed for my backpack. And later on, I make my backpack. And then I pissed off some bees, man. I don't know why. I was just wanting that hive, but they almost killed me because I kept trying to attack them. They were not having it, so I just ran. And this is a cool sunset with some zebras I wanted to show. But this view right here, it was amazing. There were some flamingos down here. This was just generated so nicely, this swamp. Just the way the water was, the trees, and there was a flowing waterfall coming down the mountainside. And I was just, this was one of the most beautiful places I saw, I think. It reminded me of some kind of gardens, you know, of Babylon or something like that. But so I took a nice look at this scenery, and then I decided I need to find a place to sleep, because this was the evening of day 40, and it was about time to just sleep. And so I ran down the side of this mountain. I wanted to get close to this swamp and, you know, just wake up next to it and check it out when I woke up. But eventually I found a spot I wanted to rest my head, and I set my bedroll down, and I slept and got ready for day 41. All right, so days 41 through 50, and I wake up in this awesome swamp, and right away I found myself another waystone. And it was a different one this time. I mean, it does the same thing, but it was one I like a little better the way it looks. It was like a mossy stone waystone. So I take it, gather it up, and then I go home, because I had all the stuff I needed to make a traveler's backpack. So I put it together. What, a sleeping bag, some glass, the gold I needed, some leather, and there it was in all its glory, the traveler's backpack. It was a huge lifesaver in my travels. I mean, that's what it's for, really. I mean, look at how big it was. You can hold water and lava in the sides, and like 4 buckets each. So anyway, I gather up some more food for my travels, and I head on back to my ongoing traveling. So here we go. And then I decided to get myself a horse here in a second, because I found some horses just hanging out and liked it. Iowa Silver, grabbed them, tamed them, and he was my horse, and I named him Henry. Of course, I didn't actually name him with a name tag, but he was Henry. So me and Henry just went traveling, saw some beautiful sights, saw some village, found another waystone right here, and then eventually I came to this cool looking river, and I decided to do some fishing. And the reason why this place is important is because if you look across the way here, there was an abandoned portal across there. So after a second I realized what that was, or at least what I thought it was, and I got on Henry and we went to check it out. I swear this is an abandoned portal, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It is, man. So there was an abandoned portal, and this is where I went into the Nether for the first time. But first I had to do some preparing. So I, did as much as I could to complete this the portal, and then I went caving, and wow, I came across this cool like underground lake, and then I just I loved this place. It was so cool. But I went swimming, and I started gathering resources everywhere I could. I was at diamond level, by the way, just in case you didn't know that. And so I gathered up some silver. Here's some silver right here, which I never used, but this is lead. And then eventually I came across something awesome. Ooh, diamonds, yeah. So yeah, there was some diamond, and this was I don't know. I'm pretty sure this was a 9 vein. Yeah, this is a 9 vein of diamond, which was amazing. Oh, 9 vein, dude. So I got out of the cave. I went home and made myself a nature's compass, and then a regular clock, which both come in handy. Nature's compass, you can find like different biomes with it, and then I made a diamond pickaxe and a full set of copper armor, which later on you'll see, but it gives you 2 extra hearts if you have a full set on. I didn't put it on yet, but I do here in a little bit, and you'll see. Look at the hearts later, and it gives you 2 more hearts, which was cool, man. I love that about this. So there, I get that. I travel back, and I decide, well, first I complete the portal here, because I'm gonna go into the Nether now. Man, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be awesome. But anyway, so I complete the portal, and I light it, and then I go into the Nether for the first time. And so it wasn't too bad. I spent, I think, a couple days down here, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but I spent a couple days. I put a waystone here, of course, so I can get back and forth, but I came across not much. Had to fight off some regular piglins, and then there was a bunch of zombified piglins, which later on something bad happens with them. I almost die, but we'll get to that. But anyway, so I make my way out of here, come out, and there's a bunch of zombified piglins. So, oh well. Oh yeah, here's my full set of copper armor. See the two extra hearts? It's amazing, dude. So anyway, I get onto Henry, and we head out on our way, man. More traveling. We traveled for quite a while. It was just beautiful along the way. I just had to show off everything I could here, because this Terraforged world was awesome. Look at this. There's like lava and water like flowing out of the side of the mountain, and then here there's like a family of turkeys. I guess this was little babies, little turkey and little babies. I loved it, man. So as I was traveling through a dark wood forest, I come across a mine shaft, which whatever, but I decided to go explore this mine shaft, and I came across, and you'll see in a minute, but I came across the best thing I've found yet in this game, man. The best thing I found. So anyway, I had to fight off some cave spiders, got poisoned. These things moved like crazy, men, and I killed them though. I almost died. And then I killed this guy. He was kind of stuck, so I had to easy. But then I came across my little friend here, little troll. And then, like I said, the best thing I have found yet in the game. It made it so that I could survive the rest of this game, man. Holy crap, Batman. Holy crap, Batman. No kidding. Look at that bow. It's like had infinity and I mean, it's everything I needed, man. A chest plate with oh yeah, and these magma walker things here, they were from the relic mod, but they were really cool, man. And you'll see later on what they do. And then I went mining under this, or I mean caving under this mine, or mining or whatever. And anyway, to make a long story short, here I found some more diamonds, man. And it was, I believe it was another 9 vein of diamonds. So I had a bunch of diamonds now, which was amazing. I mean, of course you need diamonds. Anyway, I made my way out of here. I came across this skeleton. I had to fight him off, which no big deal. He was easy. Now that I was all souped up. And there we go. I slept in my sleeping bag, ready for day 51. All right, so days 51 through 60. So on day 51, I got up and decided to make my way back home with my waystone and make myself some diamond boots and a helmet. So I'm pretty much decked out after this. I think the only thing I don't have that's diamond, yeah, is my pants. So there I am. Yeah. So then I went outside and saw the nether basically just leak through, and I don't know how this happened. I never figured out why the nether was here. And then went back with the waystone, and me and Henry went on our way, traveling once again. I was kind of traveling aimlessly at this point. I mean, I was going in a direction, and then I decided I was gonna go back to the portal that I originally went in and break it, because I thought maybe that would help with the leaking of the nether into this world, into the overworld. So I used the waystone and went back home to check out, if it was still leaking through. And yeah, it was still there. It never did go away. My house was hostile, I'll tell you. Anyway, I gave up on that. And then I decided I was gonna go on my way once again. So we took off, me and Henry took off. And we traveled and traveled through all kinds of beautiful lands, beautiful scenery as we went. I mean, look at this. Dang, that is just beautiful. And then eventually I came to this ice river, and I found a cave, and I wanted to check out this cave just because it was an ice biome, and I wanted to show you guys. This was an ice cave. Since it was in this ice biome, it was just a whole complete like icy cave, and I didn't travel too deep in here because the lighting was really strange, but still nonetheless really cool. And I wanted to show you guys this, man. Subterranean Wilderness is the mod. Anyway, I gathered some resources, and then it was time to go once again. So I traveled up this icy river, and I traveled, and then eventually I left this river, and I decided I'm gonna travel inland some more, go a different direction. So me and Henry, we came across this cool penguin here, so I took a closer look at it. Totally cool, man. Love this stuff. And then I came across this pillager outpost, and so I decided to check it out, man. Raid it. I was gonna raid this. I was ready with my bow. And so when I came up to it, it was totally abandoned, man. So I didn't have to do anything to get this loot. So I made my way up to the top, fighting off all these invisible enemies, and got the chest, which not much in it, but I took it, and then I went on my way. Once again, me and Henry just started traveling. We just came across some really cool stuff. I want to show you these ice biome, ice pillars. And then I decided I needed to, get my nature's compass and get a direction. So I decided to look for a jungle and find a jungle temple. So we got our coordinates, and we headed that way. And I came across another one of these mines. So of course I had to check this out, especially after what I found in the last one, man. So I made my way down into this mine carefully, because it was a long way down. And once I got to the bottom, man, I looked across the way here, and I saw something really strange. It looked like a guy standing there with green eyes. And I zoom in on him. Doesn't it look like a guy? Well, come to find out, it's just me. it's just my reflection in this ice pillar coming down. And it was actually, the green eyes were this lichen stuff, this glowing green lichen stuff. But I just went on exploring this cave. It was really cool looking. It was like an ice, you know, mine shaft. Killed some creepers, and then I came across something amazing. Oh, holy crap. Look at this. Man, so yeah, and again, the mine produces some amazing stuff. A really good helmet, some diamonds, and then I got another, what's it called? Yeah, so it's midnight robe, and it gives you invisibility at night. So pretty cool, man. It's a relic from the relic mod. But anyway, so I make my way out of the mine, and I'm, you know, starting to head towards the jungle. But I decided, you know, once I came across the ocean, I realized there's no jungle or desert unless I travel across the ocean. So anyhow, I was gonna travel, but I come across this really cool double like sunken pirate ship that was not totally sunken. I gathered the resources out of it, and a lot of iron, tons of iron. So I gathered it all up, and was thinking about making my way across the ocean here pretty soon and head towards, I guess the desert was my destination now, because I was gonna find a desert temple. So I get my stuff, I get out of the water, and then I saw this as I was, you know, night was coming, sunset was coming. I saw these orcas, just beautiful, just playing in the water, dude. Look at this. That's amazing. So anyway, I get into the water, and as I was going close to shore, there's this really cool portal, like, you know, abandoned portal, or not abandoned portal, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So I just started traveling, and it took me forever to get across the ocean, but, you know, at least I had the coordinates, and eventually I found land. And then once I came up to the land, I ditched the boat and started traveling. And I was pretty close to the desert at this point, but it was time. Night was rolling on, and on to day 61. Alright, so day 61 to 70. And it was time to make my way to the desert now. So with the nature's compass, I just I was close, so I took off, and I just started going in the right direction, and I made it to the edge of the desert, where I came across a rattlesnake, man. And you know, I didn't want to get poisoned, so I made quick work of this guy. And then I came across these like bandit types guys. I don't even know what they are. It's some kind of a mod, but they were dangerous, man. So, you know, I was so happy to have this this bow, because I was able to just from the distance get rid of these guys. I think they had like poison arrows and things like that. So I made quick work of that guy, and then I continued on deeper into the desert, and then I came across some of these cool dudes right here, these little lizards. So I took a closer look. You know, they're cute, man, cute little lizards. And then we just continued on until I came across what I was looking for, a desert temple. And so I made my way inside, of course, and took care of whatever was in there. There's a skeleton here. Like I said, this bow was just a lifesaver the whole rest of the way. And then, you know, I made my way down to where the treasure was. I took it real slow, because I knew that if I fell or if I hit that pressure plate, it's gonna blow up the whole place, and or at least blow me up, and that would have been the end of this. So, you know, me being the scaredy cat, of course, that I am, I just kind of made steps down real slow here, real slow like, and eventually eventually I make it to the bottom here, and I gather up all this TNT, which I never use, because, you know, 100 days survival is actually pretty short. I mean, honestly, there's a lot more I could have done. But anyway, I got this loot. I got a diamond out of it. Not bad, and some knockback. Then I went outside, and I had to fight off another one of those bandits and a husk here, and I killed a spider. Missed the first shot, you know. But I started getting becoming a better shot with this bow here. So, see that? Look at that, boom. So now it's time to make my way out of the desert, and the next place I was going to look for was a jungle, and specifically a jungle temple. You know, get the loot out of there. But first I had to go through the savanna biome where I found these cool, like, I don't know, tribal guys. And you'll see more from these guys later on, and you know, they're pretty cool, man, but pretty funny. But then I just wanted to show you this. This was really nice looking. This sunset was going, and in between that little crack in the mountain, the cliffs there, so nice looking. Love this love this Terraforged world. And then you know, ran into these guys again, these tribal guys, and like I said, you'll see more from these guys. And I killed all these guys. From a distance, of course. They dropped their masks, which, like I said, I'll show you what their masks are used for, and it's pretty useful, man. Cool, very cool little tribal guys. You know, they actually ran towards me and tried to fight me here, but they got scared real easy. They just took off. Hilarious, man. Love these guys. So anyway, I got rid of all those guys, and now it's time to go to the jungle and make my way towards a jungle temple. But along the way, it took me a while to find a jungle temple, and along the way I came across some pretty scary things like this man-eating plant right here. And it's a good thing, like I always say, this bow just saved my life the whole time, because that thing hit hard, and I got hit a couple times by it. And then, of course, some more of these bandit guys. He hit me with his arrow, and it was poisonous and really frustrating, but I took him out. And then these guys, these monkeys, they were super cute, man. Just look at these guys. They were just hanging around, doing monkey stuff, having a monkey good time. Look at that beautiful river running through this. So eventually I came across some of these cool dudes here, which I think I showed them before. These gorillas, they can one-hit you too, so definitely don't want to mess with them, but they were cool. And then I find it, the jungle temple. There it is, man. All right, what I was looking for. So, of course, I went inside and I got ready to fight, and found nobody in there, which is fine. I think there's a few booby traps with some arrows, you know. Make pretty quick work of this place, and unfortunately, you know, I found the loot chest right here, and it was pretty sad, man. Like, that's all that's in it, some bamboo or something, and a rune. So then I take my waystone back to my house, and I just wanted to check and see if this nether was still leaking through, and of course it was. Never left. Never figured out why. Pretty crazy, man. Took out this guy though. And then we went back to the jungle and made our way on our adventure once again. So eventually I got out of there, came to the savannah, and I saw this cool sight. It was kind of out of place, but I wanted to show you because it was really cool looking. Love that tree. All right, so now I tamed another horse. I don't know what happened to my other horse. I think I called him Andy. I don't remember, you guys, but anyway, if it was Andy, this is Andy too. I never actually named it with a name tag, but I did get another horse, and we went on our way down the road, man. And then we came across this cool, like, abandoned portal. It was really cool looking. It's huge. I never lit it or anything, but I found a lot of carrots in there. And now it was time to go to sleep, ready for day 71. All right, guys, so here we are on day 71 to 80, and you know, it's coming along. We're getting somewhere. I jumped on the Henry 2. I said Andy, but it's Henry 2, and you know, got myself some food along the way here. And then I found another desert, which brought me to this, I guess, abandoned portal, or I don't know what you call them, abandoned portals, or destroyed portals, whatever. But I found a chest that had a couple golden apples, so I grabbed them and, you know, just went along my way here. And then I saw some cool guys right here. I had to show you some camels. First time I saw camels. So that was interesting. And then I came across a rare biome, the mushroom biome. But before I went to explore that, I found a pillager outpost that I really wanted to get the loot out of. So, you know, went along my way here and thought it might be abandoned, but nope. This time I had to kill off the inhabitants of this outpost, and didn't take much because I had this bow. Like I said, without this bow, man, things would have been a lot harder. But because I found this bow, it just made life easy for me. So I got rid of those guys and made my way up to the top to get the loot out of this thing. And it wasn't the greatest loot, but it wasn't bad either. I got a few things, you know. So I grabbed it and went on my way to this mushroom biome here. Wanted to check it out. Not much to say here other than, you know, it's just a basic mushroom biome. I think I went in the caves and checked it out too. I didn't show you, but checked out some birds. Just wanted to show it because it is kind of a rare biome, or actually a really rare biome. Found these little mushroom guys. And then I went on a mission that took me days and days and days. I wanted to go to a savanna biome to find, you know, those little tribal guys. Well, they have a village or a base, I guess you can call it. And they have a leader, a big leader, that if you kill him, he gives you some really good stuff. So I wanted to find one of these, but it took me forever. I found some of these guys. I fought them off, but their village was nowhere. I searched this savanna everywhere, and man, I just never found it here. So I had to go to other savannas, and there's multiple savannas I went to before I actually found one. I don't know why it's so hard to find, but anyway, like I said, we will get to it. We will get to that later, you guys. I found their village, and it's awesome what happens. But anyway, so I just wanted to show you some scenery along the way as I was just combing this savanna. But this was a nice river. If you want to check that out, and then there's a really nice lake I want to show you by the jungle here. And there was another jungle temple to my left, and I went into it. Just lame loot like the last one, so I didn't show it. But look at this lake, was beautiful. Wow. And so then I got on Henry 2, and we started riding. And I came across this river and almost died right here. This guy really wanted to kill me. I thought I was dead, but I finally got out of his grasp, and I swam out of there with a couple hearts left. And man, I thought I was dead. But we made it. We made it We made it out of that one. And then came across this really cool, it was almost like erosion or something like that. That's what it looked like. Erosion of these cliffs, but it looked so cool. I had to show you this, man. Look at that. That's awesome. And I just was going and going, man. I was getting frustrated, but I combed this whole savanna and realized there's nothing here. And then I came to an ocean where I saw a hammerhead shark, and I took a couple shots at him, but realized I don't get meat from him or anything, so I just left him alone. And then I dropped my waystone, went back home, dropped off my stuff, and slept and got ready for day 81. All right, so days 81 to 90. We're finally getting somewhere. We're almost through this 100-day survival. Anyway, I decided to use a waystone and go back on my mission to find a savanna. And this mission took me days and days and days, let me tell you. I mean, it's already taken me a lot of days, but I mean, look, I'm like 2,000 blocks away, and I just it took me forever to get to the savannas, and then, I mean, eventually I would get to the savanna, but I would comb the whole place, and I just would never find these guys, as the little tribal guys. I would never find their base, their home, where their chief is. Look at that lake, or that bay, I guess it is. Looks so nice, man. Love Terraforged worlds. And then I found this pillager outpost. I just wanted to show you that. I went and got the loot out of it. It was abandoned, but wasn't much to get, but at least I got a little bit of stuff out of it. And then, every time I would come to these savanna villages, I would think, oh, that's it. That's it. That's the base. And nope, just a village. And I'm telling you, I would comb these savannas. I would go every possible place I could go in there. But then I got tired of that one, and I decided I'm going to go somewhere super far away. So I took one of my waystones back to where I had left Andy. There's Andy 1. And it was way far away from where I was in that savanna. And I figured if I ride him in a direction and then, then look for a savanna from there, which was like 6,000 blocks away, I'd be somewhere totally different. And maybe that savanna would, I would find a village, or a base there. I guess it's called a base. Those little Aborigine guys. Are their base, or I don't even know what you call it, but anyway, those guys, you know what I'm talking about. So, here I am looking for this savanna again. I'm getting closer, and I finally get there, and same thing. I just sweep the place, comb it, and there again, same thing. This savanna that was completely different, far away, was nothing, except for I would find the tribal guys. They were there, but their base was nowhere, man. So, needless to say, I was getting a little frustrated, but I mean, I'm making it to 100 days regardless. At least that's what I'm trying to do. So, I look for a different savanna, and here we go. Going to another one. Another one. This is like the third one, I believe, where I found nothing. Or at least I was headed towards the third one. So here I was, just going through once again, trying to find what I was looking for. And then I found this savanna, and then this village, and I was like, oh, maybe that's it. Nope. But then finally I came to, it was a savanna plateau. And it was a little bit of a different biome because it was called a savanna plateau. But anyway, I finally did it. I finally came across what I was looking for. Oh, yeah, I found it, guys. I found it. That is it right there. So I was so excited because I spent so much time looking for this place. But it was worthwhile, let me tell you. It was worth it because what I got from this was exactly what I needed to finish this. But so I jumped right in and I started attacking the chief. There's the chief on his seat right there, and these guys would attack me every time I would even get close to him. And another problem was, every time that I would get too close, he would start shooting these like sunbeams or beams from the sky, and they would set me on fire. And so I was not killing this guy with that tactic. So I decided to build this tower and get him up from up top, right? So I go up there and I start hitting him from up there, and I thought, oh, this is the way to do it, man. Easy. I was gonna kill this guy, right? I was even starting to brag right here, but then all of a sudden he started throwing out his little villagers masks, and he started regenerating his power. So I realized this is gonna be harder than I thought. So I built a platform that was even closer to him, and I was getting hit with these sunbeam things from right there. So I decided to build a cover over the top of it. You know, I'd slept, and then I built this cover so I wouldn't get hit in hopes anyway. But I started hitting him, and you know, that got me nowhere. He just kept regenerating power. So this was not the way. I had to actually kill the little guys that were regenerating his power. So I jump off, try to do it from the ground, almost died. Tried to get close to him. I just, you know, I was getting close to dying every time. Just wasn't working. So then eventually though, night rolled around again, and I finally got his number. Yeah, so what was helping me, I think, was the zombies, man, because he was going after the zombies, and then I got enough hits on him to where, see, he started throwing his little guys to regenerate, but I had to, he couldn't regenerate fast enough, and there he was, dead. Yeah, we got him. You see that? What did we get for that? All right, man, so what I got was amazing. I got this, look at the zombie in the mask, that's hilarious. But anyway, I got his mask, which made it so that I can, as long as I had other of the tribal masks, I could use his mask to summon little tribal guys to help me fight, right? So, and I actually do use it later, coming soon. And you guys will see exactly how you use it, and how good of a, you know, I don't know, a drop of a prize this was. So anyway, it was quite a feat. Took me a long time, like 20 days to actually get here, and then took me, you know, some days to actually kill this guy. And I almost died a lot of times. One time I almost died falling in my own stupidity, but somehow I made it through all this, and I was super happy. I was almost there, man. This was the night of day 90, and I went up to my tower where it was safe and laid down my bedroll and slept and got ready for day 91. All right, guys, here we are, day 91 to 99. We're almost done with this. So I left this place. I was done here, got what I needed, and I took a waystone to my house. And then when I got there, I decided to put the knockback I had on my great sword. And then also I got ready. I got all my masks together because I was planning on going to the Nether here really soon. We're gonna spend some time in the Nether, pretty much the rest of the days I spend in the Nether. So we take the waystone to our Nether portal here. Still got this Nether portal, of course, and then we get ready to go into the Nether. Just had to fix it up a little bit here, light it, and then here we go. Into the Nether we go. All right, so I spent a lot of days here in the Nether. I think pretty much to day 98, I want to say, something like that. 97, 98 I spent in the Nether. I just went around and, you know, made my way through the different biomes. It was beautiful, actually. The Nether, I usually don't say that, but look at this guy. But the Nether was beautiful, just with the shaders and everything. Man, it looked nice. So I bridged across this place here, and you know, what I was actually looking for was a bastion at this point. I wanted to find a bastion and get some loot. So, you know, I bridged across here, jumped down, and I ran into something quite nice. Sarcastically speaking, quite nice. There was this big ass mosquito was sucking my face, man, pretty much. But I managed to get away from him, and he kept trying to get on me though, and it was hard to kill actually. And so then I ran like a scaredy cat, you know me, and I hid under this tree in this crimson forest here, and then I decided to let loose some of my guys, some of my tribal guys, you know, they're gonna help me out just in case this mosquito attacked again. So we got them, and we went on our way, and I felt better with them with me, you know, they were just hanging, and they would battle too. They would battle things, but I had to cross here and try out my new boots, you know, that I got, my relics that I could walk on lava with. So I decided I'm just gonna kill these guys so I can get their mask back, and I can always summon them later. So I killed them. Yeah, I'm nice, right? But anyway, so there we are. I was walking on lava. I was super happy, man. This was awesome. Worked exactly like I was supposed to. And then I found a bastion. That was awesome. So I went into the bastion, and I just did, you know, didn't run into too much. Mostly, what are they called? Hoglins. The Hoglins, and they're pretty tough, but I had my bow. My bow saved me this whole time. You know, I shot some guys up here, and made our way to treasure. I think I found like 2 or 3 treasure chests in this place with honestly not very good loot, but this wasn't a treasure bastion. Look, I did find a pickaxe, so I forgot about that, a diamond pickaxe. It had a curse on it, but still, that was something. And oh, I think I found pig step too, the pig step disc. Got some gold, you know, always gold in these things. I don't use much gold. And then we walked on lava some more, and I came across a nether fortress next. It was, well, first this crimson biome. I love the crimson biomes. They're my favorite, actually. So I showed this a little bit. Love the way they look, that turquoise color. And it's beautiful. And then eventually here, I came across the, there it is, in the distance there, the nether fortress. And so I made my way over to it. Things were way easier because I could walk on lava for sure. If you ever have this mod, the relic mod, these boots are amazing. So I got onto the fortress and just fought some mobs. I didn't stay too long. Fought some wither skeletons. I wasn't gonna fight the wither ever, so I didn't really collect the wither skulls or anything. I just did my thing. But then, eventually, as I was going along, I came across what I was really looking for, this treasure bastion. So, I think it was huge. And so then, as always, I walked on the lava and I made my way across here, and I had to fight a bunch of dudes off here. Those guys, I don't want to get hit by those guys. Those brutes, the piglin brutes, they'll kill me, man. One shot. Something like that, 2 shots maybe. But I was able to hang in the lava, so they really couldn't do much to me, man. I had it made, and I made my way in here, found some treasure right off the bat. Not too bad, you know, just regular stuff, a lot of gold. And then I found eventually I found this the actual treasure, the best spot. The top of the treasure bastion has the big treasure chest. So I killed off those guys and you know, got my way up to the top here and found the treasure. There it is in its glory. And if I'm being honest with you, these were kind of disappointing too, man. I thought I would find stuff better. I found better stuff in the mines that I came across, you know. But a lot of bone, which is good for bone meal, things like that. But, you know, I mean, there's another diamond pickaxe. I guess that's pretty good. Oh, yeah, and that's right. I found the nether rack, too. Nether rack? I think that's what it's called. Anyway, netherite. But I never made netherite armor because, you know, I'm slow. 100 days take me forever. But anyway, so yeah, we made our way back here to leave the nether, but I accidentally did something stupid and I hit a piglin and yeah, it almost killed me, man. These guys were helping me. My little aberration guys were helping me, but man, look at all these guys coming after me. That was a stupid move, but I managed to get myself up and I started picking them off with my bow, and eventually I killed them all. And you know, we made it. We made it through that one. I thought I was dead there. Really did. There. Those guys did help. Look at, they're still alive, hanging with me. So we did it. Yeah. So we went out of the nether, and we were almost done here. I think, like I said, I believe it was day maybe 97 or 98. So I decided to spend the rest of my days just kind of going on a walkabout, I guess you can call it, and just look at the beauty of this Terraforged world, because it was beautiful the whole way through, even the nether, like I said. I mean, look at these mountains right here, and they're just so beautiful. I think I did a nice shot here of the mountains just because it looks so nice to me. Look like a real mountain landscape right there. Yeah, beautiful. Look at that. I would want to live there, you know? So yeah, just showing you the beauty. Look at this. I love the frozen rivers. They're like my favorite place. Found some good mines, you know, you guys saw. And so I had to show those off again. And then I came across something right here that was really cool looking. I just thought this was picture perfect here. Coming up, I love the river too. Look at that. Just the water looks so beautiful. But right here, somewhere right in here, I come across this abandoned portal, I guess you call them, nether portal, and the way that it was like, you know, flowing into the water and everything, I just thought it looked so awesome. Took a close look at that, and then I headed home, and guess what? Went to sleep. Day 99. It was. We have done it, everybody. We have made it to day 100. I don't know if you see it right there, day 100, but there, we have officially made it to day 100. Good job, man. That gas was gnarly. So we made it, guys. Thanks for watching this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This was an amazing adventure. Took a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. And hope to do it again. We'll see how you guys like this, you know. We'll see you next time. And just remember, chicken